Hello, hello, hello out there. I am Jeff, the techpreneur for the people, also known as TechP, and this is TechP What's the What. And so we are here today to actually tell a little bit more about what it is that we are doing and what we're up to, and the why behind some of the things that we have been known to do. And so some of you out there may have seen some of my art and some of the things that I've created. And over the last, I would say, 3 to 4 years, I've been in somewhat of a space where I was looking to create and transmute whatever it is that I was experiencing. And I came to kind of understand some things about expression and the relationship to healing along that journey. And so this is in many ways the way that I view this is a huge step in TechP finding and having access to what we call the voice. And so the voice at One2Gration is actually not just Jeff and Jeff's words. Is really a place for all people who actually want to partner and share and leverage their voice. And so we'll see more of that to come. But this is the first edition of this version of TechP What's the What. And I also want to highlight in the beginning that we consider this to be responsible social media. We call it Respocial Media. And so we at One2Gration, we have our own version of what people call social media. We call Respocial Media, and you'll find that in the links we'll share where you can go there. It's more of a non-algorithmic based approach to giving resources and access to different things so that you have the right thing at the right time in the community that supports you and your purpose to go along with that. So ultimately, what this equates to is, I've seen enough to know that we can't wait on a seat. We have to go out and build one. And when we build, or whatever we build, it has to be built with well-being, safety, and truth in mind. Understanding that the majority of people out there have experienced a ton of trauma, and the majority of them are not even aware that it's trauma. And so for me, I just decided that in my darkest times that God must have been calling me to do something different. And so here we are. We are here at TechP What's the What. I'm going to play that intro one more time. I think it's pretty fun. Let's see it. It's all about having fun. So for me, in this space, is different than what I did over the last 20 years, where I had to go and be something that ultimately ended up causing me to break. Had to figure out how to live with PTSD. Had to figure out how to be my best self again, and then overcome all of the different challenges that one face when people don't show up for you, and people say one thing and do something different. People watch you experience whatever it is that you're going through, and they don't reach out. And then there's others who love you, and it was really a lot. And so that's the reason why today I want to start off with a huge shout out. This past week we spent time there in Las Vegas at the NAIDA conference. And for you that don't understand that, for those of you that don't understand that acronym, it's Independent Automobile Association. And we were there supporting my brother, fellow Fiskite, class of 2002 alum, William Kizzie. And so we're going to be scheduling time for Will to join and tell us a bit about what it is that we were doing and why and what his vision is. But what I will say about being there in Vegas and experiencing that alongside of him was it was extremely inspiring to me to see someone pursue their dreams in that fashion. It's something that I see in myself. But the road to pursuit of dreams and entrepreneurship, it could be a lonely one. And that's one of the reasons why I felt compelled when he asked me to support him to definitely be there. And then also a huge reason to why we built One2Gration. One2Gration is about providing resources to people like Will, myself, and having a community of resources to make sure that when you have an idea, you have a dream, you definitely do have a purpose. Whichever one it is, you have the right set of resources to pursue it without someone taking all your equity or taking advantage of you in ways that we know that some of these systems do. And so William is there. He's got a first to market product that everyone that I believe has a brain and understands money and has purchased a car will understand. And so I think this is going to be a huge home run. I've spoken with William at length over the years as he's developed this product, and he has a huge heart to give. And so we as Fiskites, we're going to by supporting William, we're going to benefit because William's going to be a huge blessing to the institution and to the greater HBCU and really humanity community. He's said it time and time again. And so look for us to come back and talk about that time we shared there in Las Vegas at the Fontainebleau this past week. All right, next, I want to talk a little bit about what we're doing with Brown Girls Do Gymnastics. And so I see myself in different personas at different times. And so here, this is TechP, what's the what, and I get to be the techpreneur for the people. He has a voice. I have a voice. We can talk openly. And so we are strategically partnering with Brown Girls Do Gymnastics because what I'm hearing from my Fiskite alumni base is that we are not wanting to give up on our gymnastics program without more information and understanding what would it really take for us to do that, and what are the paths available for us to pursue keeping our cherished program. And so first steps first, we got to get somebody who understands what's going on, because TechP doesn't. I understand some things, but not gymnastics. From what I'm hearing, I'm not sure if the folks who are making these decisions about, what is going to happen in the future with HBCU gymnastics, or Fisk University, I should say, in gymnastics. I don't know how informed they are, but I do think that by bringing in and aligning with Brown girls who've been in this space for the last 11 years, their founder, Darren, is very, very passionate about this. And she's had some connection with the Fisk program in the initial stages of putting the program in place. And she's very passionate and very confident that there is a path forward for the program to remain in place. And so if that is what I'm hearing, and I'm also hearing based off of the information that's been submitted on the One2Gration website. So if you are a supporter of this program and you don't want to see it go away, do like the rest of the other folks who have already gone to, I'll put the link in the comments, but go there, put your information in, tell us how you want to support, tell us how you feel. We need to make sure that we have good, clean data to support what it is that we're doing. This is not about doing the desires of Jeff. This is about the collective. And then if there are people who want to see things done, then we want to know how you're going to support whatever it is that you're advocating for. And so we feel like this is a huge step for doing this and aligning with, for accomplishing this. And we are aligning with Brown Girls Do Gymnastics and the HBCU Gymnastics Alliance. So that's the update on that. More to come. Go to the website, put your information in. Also, there is on the HBCU Alliance Gymnast Alignment. I'll put the right title in there. Apologies, a lot going on. But on that site, there's a path for you to donate towards the funds to secure making sure that these HBCU gymnastics programs live and go forward. And I'll tell you that I've been closely tied to having some interactions with the athletes, and who they are as people. There's no way that I'm going to give up based off of what I've seen. These are the best of the best that the world has to offer. And so we're going to figure it out. Go get signed up and let's get going. Let's see here. So next, we want to talk a little bit about At Home on the Yard. So At Home on the Yard was envisioned to be a space for us to have civic engagements that are aligned with the culture. Right now, we are leveraging At Home on the Yard to drive mentorship and then also advocacy for the gymnastics program that we just spoke of. We're also very, very excited and just sitting on the edge of our seats to waiting on Miss Diane Nash to give us the green light to say, this is what Miss Diane would ask of all of you all out there who are aligned with boom, 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 boom. We feel like we're getting very, very close to that. But it's Diane, the Fiskite. It is Diane, the one who worked and was instrumental in organizing from 1959 all the way up to now. And she is, from everything that I can see, more than capable, and just what I believe is right for this time. And so we are supporting her in that regard. So At Home on the Yard is also a space inside of Respocial Media, One2Gration, for people to gather as well. And so you can go there, you can have community, you can have conversations, we can have live kickbacks or whatever you guys dream of. You guys let me know. But go there, join, check it out. There's free and paid versions of One2Gration. We do need to make sure that we understand that we have to ask ourselves the question about what's free. Is Facebook free? I'm not really sure. I don't think so. And so if we are going to build a path forward where we have safe spaces in the middle of chaos, we will have to figure out and reallocate some budgets to make sure that those things are in place. As you can see, funding is being cut for all types of things that were vital in the past. And so we're going to have to be very, very smart and strategic as a community and humanity to figure out how we support each other and streamline resources to make sure they go as far as possible. Let's see here. So check out At Home on the Yard, check out Respocial Media, One2Gration, and then you'll be able to see the different types of services like Diane, or let's see who else we talked about, or William or Brown Girls, the type of services that we have that are supporting them to have a larger platform, reach more audiences, and accomplish whatever it is their strategic initiatives are. And so next, we'll talk about all the way back to South Oak Cliff. We have a conversation that is scheduled coming up with 1998. You guys know her as Chipmunk, Crystal J. And so this is sometime in the making, I would say. She and I have been collaborating in different behind the scenes things over the years. And just recently she mentioned that she was ready to reemerge and pop back out and hit the scene. And she said she was looking for someone to support her through digital media. And so, for me, I'm like, I think that the work that I create and what I share and the silence around it, I don't know if you guys have noticed the lack of engagement. I don't know if it's, Facebook has me in a corner, or if people just put their blinders on when it comes to Jeff. I don't know. It really doesn't matter. What I create is really about expression and healing. But Crystal, who I know loves me, didn't know that this is something that we do. And so I shared a few things with her, and she said, "Oh, wow," and then she sent some things back over. And so She proposed that on the tail end of National Men's Mental Health Month, that we sit down and we have a conversation about mental health, which for me, that's kind of why I do what I do. It's really all about mental health and well-being. And so I 20 years worked in spaces, um, 45 years lived as Jeff McKinney. I've seen trauma and bias by way of systems. I've seen trauma and bias by way of family and friends. And so I think that isolation and gaslighting are real issues. I know what they've done to me, and I know that the work that I've had to put forward to overcome those, um, and I'm not always at my best, but it's an everyday effort that it requires. And so to have Crystal approach me about being able to sit down and have a conversation with her about this and share this with whoever is going to whoever is going to reach. I think there could be no better seat for me to sit in to be able to share these things. And it won't be the first, it won't be the last. And we have, for me, I don't know if you guys have paid attention, but we have the merchandise, the One2Gration hat is there. We're also this close to releasing our signature line, which is a TechP series where you'll find things that are inspired by kind of my spiritual journey and healing. And so, you know, one of the things that for me I had to do was redefine certain things so that they don't have the same type of weight or meaning anymore. And so you'll see things that, you know, like One2Gration is a word that my wife created. Well, I created another word. It's called rebukia. And so rebukia for me means to elevate over things that don't make sense and don't make you feel good, and get into an energy where you can actually transmute whatever pain that created for you into something productive. And for me, I transmuted into you know, kind of what you see now and the merchandise to come. And so you'll see things like, you know, for instance, I don't believe it's enough to call people, you know, brother and sister anymore. That doesn't necessarily mean that we define brother and sister the same way. From my own experience, I can speak on that, and I plan to share more when the time is right. But now what I'm prepared to do is to say, for those people who want to be a intentional representation of someone who's going to show up for you, we want to offer you what we call what a brother or what a sister, and merchandise along those lines, so that when people see you, they know that's a person that will show up, or people can gift something to you for showing up. And so for me, I think it's important, you know, back to being in Las Vegas earlier this week with William, that was about showing up for a brother. And so I always want to make sure that my words and my actions match. And so, yeah, so we're going to talk about mental health with Crystal J coming up. I believe it's in the next day or two. We're putting that together. And so next I want to transition to, but before we transition, let me take a drink of water and I'll play the intro again. Check it out. All right, so next, Respocial methodology. So we talked a little bit about Respocial Media. Respocial is a term that we've trademarked. Respocial Media is a community where you go where there's no algorithm and you can connect with the people and resources to make sure that we can actually build and support purpose moving forward. Like, we're going to have safety in the middle of chaos. Let me continue to say that. One2Gration in our community will have safety in the middle of chaos. And so the Respocial methodology is about providing those resources in a systematic way so that we can address whatever trauma may be present or may appear, because trauma is necessary for change, but unhealthy when unaddressed. And so we want to make sure that the right resources are there at the right time. It's about people having a voice. Isolation is a big no-no. Gaslighting is a big no-no. If you really want to see, like, you know, me, and I think it's becoming clearer to some that are watching that, I had a brother. It was William. William told me earlier this week. He was like, "Jeff, you've changed." And I said, "Really? How so?" He said, "I would just say that you're a more spiritual person." And and uh, that was a compliment for me, because it takes access to overcome, access to grace to overcome like who you are naturally. But I'm not Jesus. I'm Jeff, and so I'm still naturally here in the flesh. And so that means that I'm not perfect. And so I'm trying to take as much grace as I can, because the more grace I absorb, the more that I can give. And it's some people out there that they need it. They need it. They require it. We all need it. We all require it. But some people, their actions are fruitless. And so fruitless actions in this day and time uh, are going to be addressed for me in a way that's healthy for me, which doesn't mean that um, it's not always something that feels good to someone else. And so no more Reggie type of behavior. Reggie type of behavior is when you're doing something in the dark that you can't do in the light. And so one of the reasons why I love media and I began to produce content and get into this place is because what I noticed is the dark actors, the people who are abusive, the people who manipulate, the people who gaslight, they don't do it when the camera's on. They always figure out a way to do it when nobody's watching. And so, um, I've been told by some that I don't talk enough, and I've been told by some that I talk too much. But as TechP, I'll talk about the things that mean something to me. And so making sure people have a safe space and people are treated fairly, and people understand that we can't mistreat others and expect for that fruitless behavior to not go unaddressed. That's really what we're going to experience. And we're going to have some fun doing it. Matter of fact, let's play it again. Let's have some fun. Next up, I want to talk a little bit about the debut episode of Hey Girl. So Hey Girl is a concept of just whatever women talk about in a healthy way and all the rest of that stuff. And I don't know anything about what that is, but it's led, and it was the vision of my wife, Cameron, also known as Mama Stay Slaying. And so she did a couple over the years, and it's just kind of evolved, and then it kind of sat for a while, and then so we started working on it again. And then I met Alaina Huffman. And so in meeting Alaina, I noticed, well, before I met her, I noticed the reason why I met her is because she had a crown tattoo on her arm. And so crowns are like, I don't know, they speak to me. I didn't know that, but they do. And so in meeting her, we got to the point where she saw Hey Girl, and her and Cameron met, and now they're co-hosts of this, what I believe is going to be a very phenomenal, enriching, um, purpose-driven. I don't know what to call it yet. I think it could be anything. And when I see the product along with its MC addicts, I just see a big bright light. And so I want to say kudos to those women and addicts. And I want to say to everyone out there, check out Hey Girl. It's a space inside of One2Gration too. So One2Gration has a space that's for women and whatever women think they need to do, and we want to create a space for that. So well-being is accessible, resources are accessible, and so Hey Girl is about those things, and I'm excited about what is to come. So the debut episode, Meet the Hosts, is available now. It's on YouTube, and then the full version, the condensed version, is on YouTube. The full version is live, available right now inside of the One2Gration Respocial Media community in the space Hey Girl. All right, as we wrap this up, let's see here. I'm supposed to say this is not content, this is clarity. I think that's very fitting to say. I have had to get to a point where things where my voice, I felt comfortable using my voice and speaking truth. I think for so many, truth is uncomfortable, and to be a truth teller means that you have to be okay with being the person who makes others uncomfortable at times. And so understanding that, just because something makes you uncomfortable doesn't mean it's not true. And so, and if it is true and you're uncomfortable, then there's a reason why, and you should investigate that and see what your body is trying to tell. What is your spirit? What is your discernment looking to say to you? I can't speak to that for you. That's why I love art, and that's why I create. And so we are repurposing pain into power, isolation into industry. That's correct. There's a lot of nasty, 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 nice folks out there. They know how to smile and they know how to mistreat people at the same time. They know how to pretend as though they're a victim when someone draws a boundary for their fruitless behavior. Is the best way that I can say it. And so I don't like to give opinions. I like to give examples. And so it was painful. However, the opportunity to now say to everyone out there that isolation is a thing of the past. If you reach out to One2Gration and sign in and say, hey, we need some help, I need some help, I want to build this. We have examples. William is an example. Miss Diane Nash is an example. There's a ton of different. Alaina Huffman is an example of people who are partnering with us and actually are getting a huge advantage towards their purpose. And so we were not in position to do that, and I don't think we would have been without the pain. And so that's how you heal, is that you find a way to make the pain have a meaning. And so to have the opportunity to support others, isolation into industry. And so there's a lot of people who felt isolated. And in my time in therapy, I wondered why, I would have certain thoughts around, like, what is the world like if I'm not here? Or what is the meaning? Like, why am I having to go through this? Like, it was some very, very dark thoughts. But the reason I was being gifted with those thoughts is because I had an opportunity to feel what other people had felt before. And the way that it made me feel, it inspired me to do something about it, to actually build something to address it. And so those people who create isolation, you're gonna meet TechP. You're gonna meet TechP. And so we are your mirror, your media engine, and your movement. I believe that all of that sounds good. If you really want to understand what that means, any of the hashtags you see me put up, hashtag rebuke you, hashtag finally, FANALLEY, hashtag the techpreneur for the people, hashtag Respocial, hashtag One2Gration, any of those will give you a window into manifesting Jeff. And so what I mean by that is these are things that I create to transmute pain so that I can heal and go build something out of love. Everything that I build is about love and expressing love and giving access to resources as an expression or demonstration of love. And so what I know is love doesn't always feel good. And so this is my way. This is me returning back to my inner child and actually using the resources and the talents that I gained along the path to do something about the things I would like to see impacted, which I believe is my purpose. So for brands, creators, coaches, entrepreneurs, anyone who feels like they want to move into purpose, they want to grow their business, they want to show up and overcome the challenges that the algorithm is providing, we invite you to join us. I'll drop the link to the various ways that you can sign up for a consult or check out the website. We'll put those there. If you got any questions, I'm around. Reach out, DMs. Thank you to everyone who's already joined. If you are interested in making sure that our programs in the HBCU space, primarily right now we're focused on Fisk gymnastics, is secured and vetted, I'll have a link for that. But this has been TechP What's the What. I am Jeff McKinney, the techpreneur for the people. Peace.